Owning a condo can be super appealing for someone who is looking to simplify home ownership, but it can turn into a nightmare real quick if you don't know the red flags to recognize when you're buying a condo. Hey, I'm Stephanie Lankowski, and I sell residential real estate in Destin, Florida. With the attraction of the Gulf front in this area, the beachfront properties, bayfront properties, resort living, we have a huge population of condominium owners in Northwest Florida. So while condo ownership is really laid back lifestyle, especially in comparison to the maintenance and upkeep of a traditional single family residence, the purchase process can actually be a little more tedious. There's a lot more involved and a lot of reading. So with that, here are my 6 tips for how to buy a condo. Tip number 1 in how to buy a condo is understanding the bigger picture. So condominium ownership is actually a type of residential real estate in which you are buying a single unit within a larger building, of which you will be a fractional owner of the larger common property area of that condominium unit. So when you buy your single individual condominium unit, your condo, it operates a lot like a single family residence as far as your maintenance, your upkeep, your property taxes, and insurance. You'll have that all for that one particular unit. But when it comes to the larger common fractional ownership, you're going to come as a collective through your homeowners association and pay for the maintenance and upkeep with the rest of the condo owners in your property. So within understanding the bigger picture, a big deal is your homeowners association. Your HOA board is a group of volunteers that has been elected from within your property owners in your condominium property. Okay, these elected officials will hold typically monthly or quarterly meetings in which you discuss the needs of condominium complex. Do you need repairs, maintenance, rules need to be modified? Are we getting away from the culture of what we want here in this particular condo unit? So this is an extremely important board as all decisions, financial and social, are made through these individuals. And then finally, with the bigger picture of condo ownership, is your HOA will hire a property management company to actually enforce all those decisions that are made by the HOA board. So you're going to have your individual unit, you're going to have your larger fractional ownership, you're going to have your HOA board making decisions, and then you are going to have your property management company enforcing those HOA decisions. So that's kind of condo ownership in a very tight nutshell. Tip number 2 in how to buy a condo is be aware that financing is going to be more difficult to secure and more expensive than if you were to buy a traditional single family home. This is a lot out of the borrower's control, but basically when you're buying a condo, it comes with more risks that are associated with it. Your lender is going to have a lot more hoops to go through to prove that this condo is financially sound. So a conventional loan is going to go through a lot more of a rigid and rigorous process for a condo than a traditional family home. Any loan that is backed by Freddie Mac or Fannie Mae are going to have to reach like a stricter level of qualifications. So going in, you want to ask this question: is this a warrantable condo? Warrantable means that this particular condominium complex has already been approved for lending through the government-backed programs. So tip number 3 for how to buy a condo is know the HOA fees and restrictions. So each condo unit has that HOA, but some condo units have 2, 3, I've seen even up to 4 HOAs within this particular area. This happens, for instance, when maybe your condo is in a larger resort. You're going to have your resort HOA and your specific condo HOA, and then it may be a part of another group and another group or another entertainment area. Anyway, you want to ask those questions. How many HOAs and what fees am I paying to them? How am I paying them? Is it monthly or quarterly? And what do they provide me? Because they each provide a different service, or they should be, right? And then additionally, a very important question for you to ask in purchasing a condo is, are there any current or upcoming expected special assessments? So a special assessment is a one-time fee. Sometimes it's paid out all at once. You sometimes have the option of paying it all at once, or you can pay it in installments. But basically, this is when your HOA does not have enough money in its reserves to pay for whatever expense is needed. We need a new roof and we don't have enough money in the reserves to pay for it. So each fractional owner has to pay a particular portion, special assessment, to cover that cost. And that can add up. So tip number 4 in how to buy a condo is be prepared to read through the condo docs. These condo documents are all your important information, rules, regulations, and paperwork for buying this property and the behind the scenes information. So it's a lot of reading. These are very important things. I'll go through each one of these in just a second. There are 5 of them, and you have 3 days. If this is a resale property, you have 3 days to rescind your offer once you receive these and read through them. So the most important document in the condo docs are the declaration of the condominium. This is your legal information that is filed with the county clerk of courts that house information, your bigger picture through your HOA. For instance, what is your survey will be in this of the entire property, the plat map, the rules and regulations of how the common areas are intended to be shared, your voting rights as an individual. This is really your host of legal information that's filed with the county. The second document within your condo docs are your articles of incorporation. And basically what this is just giving your HOA authority to make the decisions for the property. The third document within your condo docs are your bylaws. Your bylaws basically just tell you how your HOA operates, when it's going to meet, the rules that it operates by, how final decisions are made, etc. The fourth doc within your condo docs is a financial statement or current fiscal year budget for your condominium unit. You should be able to see the meeting minutes from your HOA. You should also be able to see the projected budget. This is important. This is where you're going to find some of those unexpected costs. Or perhaps, if it's an older building and you're wondering, when was the roof replaced, or are we budgeting for that roof replacement to avoid a massive special assessment? This would be where you could find that information. I'd also get on the phone and call that property manager or that homeowners association president and ask those tough questions if you aren't finding the answers and you don't feel comfortable. And the final piece of information and document within those condo docs are the frequently asked questions. This is typically where you find the covenant and restrictions. What are the rules of this condo? A big thing that is going to be within these condo docs is whether or not you can rent this property. A short-term rental versus long-term rental makes a huge difference in the culture of a condo unit. But also there's some interesting rules, like one of my favorites, particular about pets, for instance. Like one condo unit will not let your pet touch any hallway, walkway, elevator within the common unit. You can push them in a stroller or you can carry them, but you can't let your pet walk in them. That was interesting. There was also one where a community that was 55 and older, but you can't let anyone even stay in your unit if they're not over 55 and you're not there. That can be a little bit like imposing, I think. So read these rules, read your condo docs, make sure to give yourself time and be prepared to do some heavy reading. So tip number 5 in how to buy a condo is get really familiar with the amenities that this property is providing you. So I like beach access, to have a pool, have a gym. We talked about pets already, basketball courts. But some of the more argued points of a condo are, do I get a designated parking spot? Do I get a garage? Is there a storage unit attached to this condo? So it's important for you to know not all units are created equal. Not all condos divvy up these amenities equally either. If there is a parking spot that goes with the condo, I want to see the deed that says this is deeded to my condo unit, right? And I want to know, if I don't get a parking spot, how can I get one in the future? What does that look like for me? And then I want you to walk down to those. This can be a really fun adventure. Make sure that your realtor with you has the key or the keypad to get back into all the doors, because this can be a bit of a maze and super fun in some of these condo complexes. But set eyes on that actual storage unit, that parking space, the garage, and go walk through them and see what you're getting for your money. So tip number 6 in condo ownership, or how to buy a condo, is pay attention to your red flags and your intuition. When you are looking at this information, if it's difficult to get a hold of the property management company, or the homeowners association is not giving you clear answers, if when you read through the financial information, maybe you're a numbers person and those numbers don't add up to you, and that homeowners association president cannot make it make sense to you. These are red flags. If you're walking through the property and you don't like the way that it looks, it's not going to immediately change when you buy that condo unit just because you are there. Take these as red flags, buy into a property that is going to get you to that simpler homeownership, and use that intuition so that you can be sitting back and letting somebody else worry about the maintenance of your condo. Owning a condo can be a great way to kick back and enjoy the greater pleasures of life. I hope that these 6 tips will help you find that peace and get into a great condominium community. If you click below, we have a second home buyer's guide for you, and we'll see you next Thursday.